emphasize to the guys in the locker room that by any means we should have our head down. We did something that nobody thought we could even do in the middle of the season. We should be proud of the way we played this season. We fought through a lot of ups and downs, adversity, injuries, COVID. So we should be proud of the way we, as a team collectively.
Re-emphasizing, nobody should be, holding their heads down. Nobody really put us to be in the position we're in. Nobody expected us to be here. And I don't think anybody, sure enough, didn't think we'd take them to 5. Still strongly in my heart, believe we could have took them to 7. They made more plays than we did, got more stops than we did tonight. I mean, my message was, the ultimate thing was remember this feeling. A lot of guys, is their first time in the playoffs. So understand that, once, all the games during the season matter, especially the ones in your conference, playing against Charlotte, playing against Atlanta, playing against Orlando. Those games we gave up earlier in the year, they count at the end of the year. Keeping that in the back of our head and, understanding how we can better prepare ourselves and better put ourselves in a better position in the playoffs, having home court, having that mindset of being that caliber team, a playoff team. And so it was a good first go around for a lot of guys. It was definitely frustrating because we all want to do well and we all want to, contribute as best as we can. But just remember the feeling and get in the gym. That's all we can do.
There's a whole bunch of young players that I feel are going to move forward with Russell, with Bradley. Their development, to your point, is extremely crucial this summer. And we are going to put all the resources possible into that, making sure that they develop their game and continue to develop.
And what did the series against the Sixers tell you about your team, your roster?
Honestly, we needed a much better team this time next year to compete at the level we want to compete at. Last year, that was before we acquired Russell Westbrook, before we signed Davis Bertans back, before we brought Daniel Gafford in on trade, before we drafted Denny. So there was a lot of things that happened before in the last season that contributed to the way that we were able to elevate this season. We've gotten better the last 2 years. Our record has improved. We got to the playoffs this year. That's not always going to be now. I think that's going to be the expectation moving forward. That's where we want to be, but certainly we want to finish much higher than that. I think if we could have stayed healthy this year, with all the stuff that we went through, I think we finished 2 games below 500. We finished in the 8th spot. We made the play-in. We got to the playoffs. That was a great experience. But now that's no longer acceptable. We have to be much better next season, and we will.
The word culture has kind of been used a lot this year, kind of describing your group, bringing Russell in. Can you explain to us and to the fans exactly what that means in terms of the culture with the Wizards?
Well, I think it speaks for itself. The production that Russell was able to add on the floor, his presence in the locker room, and he was an unbelievable co-pilot with Bradley, creating an environment that there's accountability amongst the players. I always say that the best teams, it's the peer pressure that keeps them going, that elevates your performance. Russell certainly brought, I would call him a force of nature, in the way that he was able to come in and provide that for us and support Bradley and the rest of these players moving forward. I look forward to that leadership.
I just wanted to come to a place and change the culture, bring my energy, my leadership, and make the guys around here better. We obviously got a lot of guys that we all got to come back better, but not just that. They're young, man. It's funny, I was on the plane on the way here and talking to Rui and Daniel and these guys, like, how old are you? They're like 21, 22, 20. I'm just like, when I got to my room, it's like, man, we got so many young guys. Denny, he was out, but he's 19, 20. It's important that they understand what it's like now to be in the playoffs, understand what it's like to be able to fight, understand what it's like to be able to not take nights off. Part of my job is to make sure that I'm here to make sure that that's instilled in them, that they understand that we still fought through and got ourselves in the playoffs, but understanding the importance of coming back each year better and being better players and being better pros is important, for our group.
Having Russ here was unbelievable. I've done nothing but cherish his presence since the moment he got here. And he's done nothing but, welcome me with open arms and vice versa. So that's promising, in a lot of ways. You definitely, especially for somebody who wants to be here too, definitely lifts me up in a lot of ways. But, we both know we got to be better. We both know we have to be, the leaders of the organization and guide us a lot better than what we did, so.
And all that being said, obviously, I'm sure you don't want to address it now, but do you see that you have a future with this organization? You said at the beginning of the season you wanted to see that they could put a winning infrastructure in place. Did they do enough to entice you to stay?
I mean, we're not going to think about that or even talk about it right now. Biggest thing for me is we battled the whole year. We didn't start off the year the way we wanted to. It was frustrating all around for everybody. I was frustrated at times, but I'm a very optimistic, and I persevered through a lot of adversity, and I think we did that as a team. So for me, I think we just best put ourselves in a position to win, and we had a lot of guys out, a lot of different lineups throughout the year. So for the most part, I was happy with that. I was happy with the fact we competed and, we gave ourselves a chance at the end of the year. We obviously still need to get better. There's still we have a lot of room for improvement all across the board, but I haven't thought about none of that as of yet, Abram. Sorry.
Nothing's changed for me and for Bradley. We have straight line conversations. We're going to take our time. We're going to discuss what's best for the Wizards' future. Everything, like I've said, we built this team around Bradley, and that's our intention moving forward. Again, straight line conversation with him has always been very transparent, very direct, and that's how we'll continue. And I look forward to having those conversations with him, how we can get better, how we can grow this thing moving forward. I know he was very pleased with this season in terms of what we were able to accomplish, in terms of creating that environment, making us feel like this is a place that can be a perennial contender. It starts with baby steps, certainly. But Bradley's been here 9 years. He's given an awful lot of his career to this team. Very gratifying last night to hear his comments about this year's team. And I think he's positive about moving forward in the future.
Just being in this situation for so long now that you have been, because it's been going on for a while, just what have you learned from actually having to deal with that? And is there anything you learned specifically this year about kind of the gravity of rumors or everything like that?
Ultimately, I'm in control. I think that's my biggest thing is, people can report whatever they want, but, I know where my mind is, and I know, if it's not coming from the horse's mouth, then it's just going to be rumors. So, I expect them. They're starting now. So, it doesn't change anything. They're definitely going to increase a lot more this year when we go into the last year of my deal. But for me, I'm relaxing and, resting my body, and, we'll evaluate all that, once summer comes. I meet with Ted, meet with Shep.
I feel like you guys as a team need to improve on going into next year?
Our defense, we gotta obviously. That's pretty obvious. We gotta defend better. We have to shoot better. We gotta be able to shoot the ball better. I definitely wish I would have had a better 3-point shooting year than I had, but I think that goes for everybody. We got to be better with shooting the ball and defending. I think that's been our kind of Achilles heel all year. Our ability to be able to guard guys and knock down shots. So
we've got to get better defensively. Everything starts and ends there. We continue to try to harp on that, and that's one area of focus for sure. To do that, you certainly have to have a better scheme, but you have to have better players, and we try to get better players every year. The players that we have, they get better. We develop them. You acquire other players. You bring in different things. But it's continuity. I'm going to go back to is very important to me. I'm not looking to make wholesale changes. What we got to do is take what you have and make it better, add pieces. And I think Bradley, Russell both commented how excited they are about the future of a player like Rui, a player like Daniel Gafford. When Thomas Bryant comes back, when we get Danny back healthy, they like playing with those young players. They were very excited about their growth and the trajectory for them. The key for us, again, is to have key role players available, healthy all season long. I think everybody knows Davis, when he's healthy, he's a huge difference maker. This was a difficult season from the very start for him. I've never seen too many players. You miss training camp, you have injuries early, you're kind of chasing your tail the rest of the year. And I feel for him, and we're going to make sure we do everything possible to make sure that doesn't happen again next year. We're not afraid to make changes to make this team better. We've done that. We'll continue to do that, anything it takes to get those guys to get that locker room opportunity to go out and win and be sustainable and compete for a championship. That's what we've got to do. Hey, can we contend for a championship? No, not today. We showed that. We were eliminated last night. But now we can take that experience, build on that experience. We keep adding players. Like I said, this time last year, a lot of these guys that were playing last night weren't here. So think about this roster in another year. Our expectations continue to go up. We're going to keep adding talent. Those guys make a huge difference. Bradley, Russell, they're going to attract talent. They make players around them better. So in another year, I think we'll see continued growth. I think those guys are both genuinely excited about what's ahead. You got to add some more depth, certainly. You know, injuries happen, and they happen to everybody. We saw that happen to the Sixers with Embiid going down, and this got to be the next person up. We had that mentality, but we kind of ran out of players by the end of the season. Losing Davis in a series where we really drastically needed three-point shooting, that was difficult to go into that game without him last night. But we need more athleticism, certainly on the wing. We got to continue to add talent everywhere we can. And I think we've shown that, Fred. You know, I'm not afraid to take big swings. We're not afraid to go out and acquire players to trade, to do whatever it takes. And we signed some players last offseason that were probably a little unheralded. And Robin Lopez, I was very proud of Neto. You know, so those signings didn't get a whole lot of notoriety, nor should they have. But those two came through in big time for us this year. It's very important to me that we protect the continuity of this team. Moving forward, when you find something that works, you want to build on it. You never say, hey, let's just run this back. This is not a run it back team. We have to get better. So to do that, you have to run it better. You have to build. You have to improve. And we're going to do everything possible, look at every option that we can to make that happen.
You know, Russ is a good cornerstone to any franchise. You know, then we made some really good moves, adding Gafford, who's, you know, been a great lob threat rim protector for us, you know, the whole second half of the year. Rolo's the hook king for us. I mean, obviously we have a lot of tough decisions to make in the offseason. The guys that we had, you know, they really stepped up and performed. You know, we seen Rui grow the whole year. And everybody, you know, everybody really stepped up when it mattered. So
you feel like you are able to make a pitch now to free agents? You know, like we got something here where this thing's going in the right direction now.
I hope so. I mean, obviously, you know, hopefully teams watch us and, you know, see what we're capable of doing and see how we compete. You know, we're a very competitive team. We do, and we're going to go out and we're going to compete and play hard and get out and play fast. That's who we are and that's what we do. You know, DC's an unbelievable market, true sports town. So I don't see why nobody wouldn't want to be interested in coming to DC. Obviously recruiting is definitely tough. It's ongoing, like you said. So I'm definitely looking forward to the summer, and my recruiting will definitely start tonight or tomorrow. But for the most part, it's just taking a break and just, you know, reflecting on the year and see how we can be better moving forward and how our team can be better.
It's been great, man. Obviously, COVID started off, it was a little different, couldn't do much, had to stay inside a lot, but opening up now a little bit and being able to enjoy the city, see more people, and see the fans. You know, it's really been great, man. I'm looking forward to, especially next year, having kind of everything settled down and back to normal. And I'm looking forward to it.